so much for taking the time to meet with me. I'm so excited to learn more about what you do. I mean, we're fresh off of your Up Down music video release. We're fresh off the single. Tell me a little bit about that. What was your creative process and the inspiration behind the single?
So Up Down was like, I wanted that club banger for the EP that was just undeniable. And I remember I probably wrote it maybe like towards the end of 2020. And I was just kind of holding on to it for the EP.
Oh, wow.
I know. And right, like I'm just holding on to all this heat, right? And so, I knew I wanted to put it out, but I actually wanted to put it out in the summertime, when people were out and about, but people are still out and about. So
yeah,
it still works. But as far as the video goes, I just wanted to, really like pay homage to like one of my favorite all-time movies, which was The Players Club.
Yes.
My city, which is Atlanta. So you have the Magic City, which is like the staple here in Atlanta, and just the whole strip club culture here is just really, everyone pretty much knows like how Atlanta is with strip clubs. So I feel like it was just like the perfect opportunity and the perfect song to do both. So.
Why do you think it's so important to pay homage to Atlanta's strip club scene?
I think, I was raised here. I was raised here. I grew up here. I have so much, like, I pull so much inspiration and like musicality from this city, and there's so much history here. And I think that the song is celebrating, not just partying, it's celebrating, just like life and, twerking and dancing. And I felt like, it was just like Atlanta is known for the strip club scene. I feel like it was the perfect song to do it with. And I feel like it's important because like I always want to make sure I'm representing where I'm from and not forgetting where I'm from. I love my city. So anytime I can like pay homage to Atlanta, I'm probably.
We're going to get back to the music, but I have to ask, do you frequent the strip clubs in Atlanta?
I love the strip club. I love the strip club. My first time actually going to the strip club was actually in Miami.
Oh, wow.
LD, yeah. And I had such a blast. And so I was kind of nervous at first, not gonna lie. But I loved it. I have such a great time. So yeah, if anybody hits me up and they want to go, I'm always down.
I love the music video. Let's talk about the music video for a second. It's crazy. It's so vibrant. It's just got a little bit of everything. I love it. But what I like the most about it is you edited it all. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that. How do you know how to do that?
Man, I love that you asked me that because and that's why I always try to like, throw it in there whenever I can, because people don't really understand how big of a deal that is,
Yes.
Like I learned how to edit when I was in school. I have a communications degree, so when I was in school at Georgia Southern University, they taught us how to use some software, and I learned how to edit, and I started editing my own content about 3 projects ago. And I first edited my first music video back in 2019 for Disaster, and it took a very long time, but I was very, very proud of it, just to say that like, hey, like I edited this myself. It's my video, it's my vision, it's my visual, and I can really put it together. Because usually, when I shoot videos, I'm the type of artist that like, you're not gonna just like shoot the video and then send it to me. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like I usually have pages of notes and changes. And so it can get a bit like tedious and kind of annoying for both ends. And so it's kind of got to a point where it's like, why not just do it myself and avoid all of that? And so, with this video, I think it was really, really important for me to edit this one. I didn't edit the last visual, which was Cover Boy. I just didn't really have the time to, but this one, I felt it was really important because, this is, probably the most expressive I feel like I've been in any of my visuals. And, there's like so much going on. I really wanted to make sure that the story was told the right way and that everything was visually what it was supposed to be. So I'm very, very proud to say that I edited that myself.
That's amazing. I just want to applaud you because that's huge. If you just blindly sent me a video and was like, this rapper edited this video himself, I would not have high hopes. And looking at that video, I would have never guessed you edited it yourself. I mean, that is amazing.
I take a lot of pride in my content. It's like one of my pride and joys, because to me, I look at it as something that once I put it out into the universe, it'll live forever,
Yeah.
I've, you know, I've learned, unfortunately, how life short is, you know, in my life and things that I've been through. And so I just, you know, my perspective has just kind of been shaped to, I want to put out as much content as I can while I can. And so, you know, every time I, you know, upload a new video to my YouTube or whatever, and it's content that I've edited, whatever, I'm very, very proud of that, because, you know, I could be gone, you know, God forbid, I could be gone, you know, in 5 years, you know, and that content, all that stuff will live on forever, and people will be able to access that, you know, forever. So that is really the driving force for me.
Amazing. In that, on that same topic, I mean, we've already determined you're a video editor. I mean, you're an artist, a vocalist, rapper. You're also a choreographer. You're a producer. I mean, you wear a bunch of different hats. Where does that come from? Like, what inspires your art and creativity?
I think I just have a desire to just do everything that I enjoy doing, you know, and I never wanted to put myself in a box. I think, and I've been in meetings even like as recent as last year where I've had people tell me like, you know, you kind of do too much, or maybe you should, you know, or maybe you should like not do so much. And it's like, you know, I'm very, very proud to say that I wear as many hats as I do, because I think it really just makes me who I am and makes me the artist that I am. You know, I look at, you know, some of my favorites like Beyonce, who's so involved in, you know, just every crevice of her craft when it comes to, you know, when you watch the Homecoming documentary, you see how she put the Coachella performance together, and she picked out the literally the stairs and like
yes.
it's like that type of like meticulous attention to detail is what I think what makes the artist, you know, stand out, and it just makes the product that much more, just it makes it that much more great, because you know that it's all coming from that person. It's all coming from here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and then on top of that, I feel like I'm such a unique artist and brand that I want to make sure that the story is told the right way, and I just don't think anybody could tell my story the way that I could tell it. So I take a lot of pride in like being so involved in pretty much everything.
I know we don't have all the time in the world, but what is that story? Or at least what do you hope for when people listen to your music? What do you want to portray?
I think, you know, multiple things. You know, I lost my brother when I was 17 years old to gun violence. And I think that for one, it shows, you know, perseverance. And I always speak to, ever since I started doing music, you know, to keep going. You know, life gets hard, life gets tough, but you got to pick yourself up and keep going. And you never know what might happen if you just decide to just not give up.
Yeah.
And I want to show that, you know, you can do multiple things. You don't have to limit yourself in a box to just be a singer or a rapper. You can dance. You can do it all. You know, and I want to be, you know, representation for that, for Black artists, for LGBT artists, for just to show that like, you don't have to put me in a box. You can't put me in a box. That's really what I've tried to you know, shape my brand and my career as so far, as not being able to be put in a box, because I'm gonna break that bitch down.
I love it. I mean, you definitely have an energy and a confidence about you, and like this swagger, and listening to your music and watching your video. I mean, I felt confident. You kind of have this infectious confidence. Let's be honest, we're all human. We don't always feel that way. You know, we have our days. How do you keep that going? On days when you don't feel so hot, how do you keep that confidence?
Man, I think that's probably my favorite question. You know, because, you know, literally people kind of, you know, piggybacking off of what you said, a lot of people look at me and they don't expect me to have any bad days or to not be confident or like whatever. And sometimes I'll tell, you know, like some of my friends, and they'll just be like, huh? You know, believe. But, you know, I've been through some really, really tumultuous, traumatizing life events. And, you know, I still have a lot of days where I'm not as confident, and I'm not feeling like Damez, or I'm not, you know, super, you know, just super feeling that all that good about myself, because life can kind of get you down. You know, I got my heart broken. I've been, you know, I've been through it all. Not through it all, but I've been through a lot. And so I definitely have my days a lot more often than I probably would like to admit, or I probably would like to have them rather. Now, I don't really have a problem admitting it. But I think that I just try to remember that for me, music it's so multidimensional. It's so many layers to it. I have so many different songs where, of different feels and vibes. And, for a song like Up Down, and even the Cover Boy EP itself, it's meant to be confident. It's meant to showcase that side of me and to help other people that may be going through whatever, to lift them up and make them feel confident. I think for me, I just try to just try to find the positive in the day and just I don't know. It's sometimes some days are easier than others to break through that. But I always find my way back around.
Let's talk about your EP a little bit, Cover Boy. What are you most proud of from that project?
Wow, that's a great question. I think for one, I'm proud of the fact that I can say that was my 5th project, and it'll be 8 years since my first release. I think I put my first single out in May 2014. So it'll be 8 years in a few months. And so
wow.
And just looking back at definitely, I had this conversation with another artist a few days ago. I'm definitely an albums artist, in this day and age, it's all about singles and
right.
Singles and blah, blah, blah. To me, there's nothing more satisfying and rewarding than curating and creating a body of work. And so that's just kind of always been and of course, being super inspired and, influenced by my favorite artists. That's just the kind of artist that I am. And so it's kind of hard for me to put out singles. I'm much more my element when I have a project and a body of work to present to the universe, So I'm very proud of that. My first project was an EP and I did 3 albums. So I was like, you know what, let's do another EP, something more short and sweet for the summertime. I'm very proud of how just cohesive it is. It's very cohesive. I feel like it did what it was supposed to do. It got the job done.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of just the whole message behind it. I mean, Cover Boy was inspired from the magazine covers that I landed, which kind of happened, at least the bigger ones kind of happened after COVID came and the pandemic, just being super depressed and down and having to scrap, a lot of the rollout and ideas I had for the previous project. And so it just represents, persevering and picking yourself back up and get to keep going. And so I'm just very, very proud of that just in general.
That's awesome to hear. If you had to choose one track on the project that's your absolute favorite, what would it be?
It changes every day now. But I think for now, I'm going to go with Up Down.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Up Down just because everybody loves that song.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
There's no shame in that. On that topic, let's talk about Up Down again. I mean, you have a TikTok challenge right now, the Up Down challenge. Yes. Tell me about that.
Up Down challenge, I just wanted a way to get people dancing and get people moving. But it's funny because it kind of took on a life of its own. I kind of started seeing videos of people overseas, of so many different ethnicities that were doing, these exercise videos and these workout videos. And I'm like, shit, this is crazy. And it just was an organic thing. It just kind of just shifted into this fitness challenge, and people have gotten so creative with all the different workouts that they've done on in the gym, and it's so many different things you can do. So I don't know, I'm very proud of that, because it's just to be able to be a soundtrack to helping people want to get fit or go towards a healthier lifestyle. That makes me feel good. I love to go to the gym. I love to encourage people to go to the gym and work out. I think it's great. I think there's so many benefits of it. So just the fact that, I have a song that people want to go to the gym and listen to and work out to, that's great. So yeah.
It is definitely a great workout song. And I love that it makes me so happy that it's more than just oh yeah, viral dance on TikTok, which is great, but there's something behind it, motivating people to work out. I love that. I do have kind of a controversial question, I guess, on the topic of TikTok, but how do you personally think it influences the industry right now and how artists make music?
Well, it definitely influences both. I think that, over the past couple of years now, we've seen just how influential and powerful the
Yeah.
platform is. And so powerful that even the other social media platforms are trying to, compete. But I think it's just really interesting to see just like the music industry it's never stayed the same for a long period of time. When I think back at like, growing up, or I think back before I was, whatever, the music industry has constantly changed and evolved. And I think it's just this current shift that we're just currently living in. We have to kind of like adapt to it as artists. I think we'd be remiss to not adapt to it. You know what I mean? Because it's so important, influential. As far as making music goes, of course you do have those artists that like kind of in the creative process of like, hey, how would I make something that would be like go viral? I don't know how I feel about that. For me personally, that's never been my creative process. I kind of just like to make music, and if a song would work for a challenge or whatever, then perfect. But I don't go into it like, hey, let's make something for TikTok. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Funny because I have a song called TikTok, TikTok on my EP, which a lot of people ask me like that. Did you make that for TikTok? But I really didn't. I mean, I mean, I think it probably was subconsciously in my head, but I don't think I like was like, hey, I need a song for TikTok, But I think it's really fascinating, just as like you said, just to see just how impactful TikTok is on both scales.
Yeah, definitely. You did mention that, you are trying to be a voice for the LGBT community. That is refreshing to hear. I mean, it's refreshing to hear in the music industry as a whole, but specifically rap, hip hop, R&B, all of that. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's so dope because Logo and recently about Up Down, and MTV had tweeted it out and said something about it being a renaissance and
yes,
right now. And I thought that was just so that just kind of hit me at another level. I actually almost named my second album The Renaissance, but it ended up becoming The Art of Extravagance. So, that word just kind of it definitely means a lot to me. It definitely reaches home because I feel like I am a part of that renaissance, and I feel like just the Renaissance era in general is probably one of my favorite time periods in history. I was a big history geek.
I love that.
Learning about the Renaissance and just the rising of all this art and expression and all these different artists. I think it was such a dope time period. So to reference that in these days, I think it's dope. I think that hip hop is such an incredible genre. I live and breathe rap. I sing and I love other genres. I love my R&B, I love my pop, I love my alternative, I love my synth pop, I love my blues and all of that. But it's just something about rap and hip hop that has just always just done something to me, and I feel like there's so many different elements and avenues to rap and hip hop. And there's room for all of us, and there's room for all of us to tell our stories. There's so many stories that haven't been told yet, that haven't been heard yet. There's such a big part of the human population that just hasn't been represented in that genre, at least enough. And so to be able to be a voice for Black LGBT youth, for the LGBT in general, for Black people in general, for rap music in general, I think it makes me feel really proud because, I remember when I was growing up, there wasn't anybody that I had to look up to say, hey, like I can see myself, and and so I think now for the kids and the youth because it's all at the end of the day, I think it's all about the youth. They're the people, they're the ones that are gonna, represent the next. When it's time for us to sit down, they're gonna be in charge. It's important that they have the tools that they need to be as successful as possible, and part of those tools including having role models to look up to, something that we didn't really have. We kind of had to find our own ways to, you know, to get to where we are. But I think it's really dope for the youth to have so much more representation now, to see themselves, because that alone can just inspire so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I know I recently covered Up Down, its music video release over on EARMILK. And I mentioned in that article that I loved that you have an androgynous vibe. I love that about you. I mean, in the video, you dance with these beautiful women, but you also dance with males. I mean, where did that come from? What was that inspiration? I feel like that is very pivotal in this movement.
It is, and I love that you used the word androgynous, because you know, Prince was one of my favorite artists and inspirations. I actually just did Prince for Halloween.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it was like perfect for me. But as far as that goes, I mean, I definitely wanted the video to be as inclusive as possible. I wanted there to be something for everybody. I wanted everybody to feel like they could watch it and enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
I think there are different types of, like, there's all types of artists, even in the LGBT space, but you know, I have my lane, and I have my kind of way of doing things. And you know, I much respect to everybody else and their way of doing things. But for me, I like to be inclusive. This was my first time even like doing anything remotely gay in my visuals. So it was a big, you know what I'm saying? It was a big step, but I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud to, you know, be at a place where I'm comfortable to be that expressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just mostly all about inclusivity. I didn't want to. The idea was never to have no women in the video. Actually, like I was very adamant about making sure I had women with natural bodies that, you know, could dance, and that, you know, just reminded me of, like, you know, the Players Club, which was before the age of like BBLs and like plastic surgery, and just trying to, in social media, and just trying to like reach that perfect like body type or whatever, you know. So I was very adamant about that, and then, you know, the guys kind of, the idea of having guys kind of came after the fact, but I feel like it made perfect sense for the song. Yeah, it was pretty much just about like inclusivity,
and it just flows so nicely. So I think it was done so well. I know you mentioned that you love all different types of music, but you particularly love rap. And you seem to have so many different tastes. I'm curious, what's on your playlist right now? Who are you really into?
Oh my God. Wow. I have so many different like playlists that I switch out all the time. I'm over here staring at my phone. Well, I have so many. I'm trying to think, what have I been listening to lately a lot? I've been on a lot of Biggie lately, a lot of Biggie and Lil' Kim. I've been diving into Mos Def's discography. I've been listening to a lot of like 90s rap, even like early 2000s. Yesterday I listened to Urban Legend, T.I.'s album. I'm just kind of all over the place. Like I'm literally all over the place. But rap is just, it's incredible. You know, it's an incredible genre. And I just love like bouncing from different eras. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's amazing.
Curious.
Oh my gosh, it changes day by day by day. I mean, Up Down is on my playlist right now. I feel like I have certain playlists that I go to when I'm in certain moods. So I have very moody playlists. And then I have a playlist with all my new stuff right now. I mean, Frito Bang is on that playlist right now. I mean, I'm really into James Cupid. I just covered him. I love new artists. I mean, I'm always, you know, going to listen to the Drakes, the Kendricks. Dom Kennedy's always on my playlist, but I like people that aren't in that spotlight yet. I like people that are just up and coming and trying to get that exposure, that have a different, unique take and a different sound. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it. I also love the like crossover between country and rap right now. I love that sound. It's very weird.
So cool. Like, and I think, you know, I think it just shows you, it's just another example of just how dope music is and can be. You know, it's just like the options and just the possibilities are literally limitless.
Yes. I love it. I love anything that just sounds different. I'm tired of listening to the same things. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but anything that's different or has a different take, I'm all about. Thank you for asking that. I feel like I don't get asked questions a lot.
Of course, I'm gonna probably go add some of those to my playlist now.
I don't want to take too much of your time. I know we're coming up on time and I just appreciate you meeting with me, but I do have one last question. I know we're still in the beginning of the year, but what's your outlook for 2022? What's on the horizon? What are your goals?
Man, so much. So for one, I have back to talking about my editing. So I do this docu-series called Go Hard that I started in 2020. And it's like an ongoing docu-series that that you can get like behind the scenes of like videos and photo shoots, and me in the studio, me editing, me recording, and just kind of see like, all that it takes to be Damez and wear as many hats as I do. So I'm very proud of that. It got picked up at the end of last year by Reverie, which is like a LGBT streaming platform. And they have like their stuff on TV apps and stuff like that. So they're going to be redistributing the episodes, and then we're going to be launching new episodes after that. So the outreach and the exposure will be a lot higher, and people will be able to, tune into the content on the TVs and stuff from home. So that's really, really exciting. So a lot more content is coming out, more music for sure.
Yeah.
2 songs coming in February, both completely different genres. So I'm excited to just put new music out and just try to figure out what my next step is, as far as like when I want to do another body of work, because an artist like me, I hate putting out singles, you know what I mean? Like, I love to be able to put out a body of works, but we're at a place in the industry now where you gotta be smart, and you gotta be, you gotta make sure you're making the right decisions. And I'm still pushing this cover boy EP, so I definitely want to shoot some more visuals for that this year, and just continue to elevate, continue to inspire, and just continue to put out my art.
That's amazing. I can't wait. I'm going to be on the lookout for new music. This new docu-series you have, I mean, you're doing it all. And I don't know how you find the time in the day, but we need people like you in the industry. So I just appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for everything that I don't know how much you hear this, but I just want to be the one to tell you, just even down to your YouTube channel, the way you interview artists, the way you cover, like, your love for music and the passion that you have for music and upcoming artists, it truly helps people like me and other artists like me keep going. And people like you help us keep going. So thank you for doing what you're doing. I am so very honored to just be here and talk to you. I'm so very thankful for the coverage on EARMILK. I've read that article 1,000 times.
Thank you.
So I just thank you so much. Like, I really want you to know that you are incredible and that you should keep doing what you're doing. Your hair is flawless.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh.